Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the TABITHA show on Alta TV. My name is Tabitha Chibula, your host for tonight. And with us tonight, we have Nim Tawiya Okuraja Koni II, which is a man from Ghana and the executive director of the Nile Valley Foundation Learning Center and the Afrikan Diaspora History Library. And as long with him, we have our student actually from the U of A here in Edmonton, Sharon Ayido, which is the Vice President of Nigerian Students Association. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing fine.
Well.
How are you?
To be here.
I'm good. Thank you very much. It's an honor to have you here. So I understand that you are the founder of this library.
Yes, I am.
How long ago did you start this?
The project actually started in 2010 here in Edmonton.
Okay. And why?
We feel that there's a void in sharing the African history and Africa's contribution to human development and civilization. And therefore, as we move towards the 21st century, we think it is very important that communities begin to share their stories so that we can have a collective narrative for the country we call Canada.
So what are your long-term goals with this Afrikan Diaspora History Library?
We hope that the library will bring positive results to the communities that have come in together to call Edmonton home. And so this is our major goal. Awesome.
So what's your role with this library?
So as a student and also the Vice President of the Nigerian Students Association in U of A, so I'm also a medium of connecting the students and the library so they can know their history as well as their culture, as well as other students in the U of A, not just Africans, but everybody to know the history of Africa and just basically the culture.
Awesome. So why do you think that this is a need? Why do you think people need to know more about the history of Africa?
Because Canada is a multicultural country, right? And there's a void when it comes to the African history, because we know history about so many more countries, but we don't know about Africa as a continent, because some people think Africa is a country, but Africa is a continent with over 50 countries.
Has it ever happened to you?
Yes, it has, yeah. So people are like, oh, so what country are you from? Like Nigeria. I was like, where's Nigeria? I'm like, it's in Africa, but like, they're like, I thought Africa was a continent, it was a country, right? And like, no, Africa is a continent.
Right.
Yeah, so it's pretty much just bringing awareness to people, not just Africans, just non-Africans as well, to promote our history as well as our culture. Yeah.
So I completely agree with you. Is there anything you wanted to add concerning the need of this?
I do think that history controls your destiny. In other words, if you were to go to the doctor's office with a disease or a medical condition, the first thing the doctor does is take you into his office and begin to ask your family history, whether you have high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, whatever it is. Who is your grandparents? How long did they live? What did they die of? How many siblings do you have? And how many of them are alive? This will help the doctor to determine how to treat your case, whether it is historically connected to your family, or what measures could be taken to cure that particular disease. So history is the same thing. It controls your destiny. It allows you to be well grounded.
For sure.
Yes.
I completely agree. So what are your long-term goals with this library and this project?
We are hoping that people will get to understand who we are as Africans, our contribution to human development and civilization, so that we are not just takers, we are also contributors, we are creators, we are history makers, we are builders, we are all of those things. And that is what we need to have the other people who have become our friends get to know this much about us.
Where's the library located?
The library is at 10440 108 Avenue, the same house with the Edmonton Archives.
Awesome. So you have magazines, I understand.
Yes, we do.
And you have 3 editions so far. This is the first?
Yes, it is.
The second?
Right.
And last but not least, the third. So this one is the latest one.
This is the very latest one.
So if I were to get this and to read it, what are my expectations with this magazine?
This particular edition has so many articles in it. One of the very important articles is about ancient and modern medicine in Africa. And a story by a Nigerian writer, Achimama Ngozi, talking about a single story and the danger of a single story. Then there's Dr. Henry Clark And there's also Phyllis Whitley, the first African slave from Senegal. So there's quite a reading in this particular edition.
That's awesome. Perfect. So what are your achievements? What have you achieved?
Well, I've been honored to receive the Obsidian Award of Philanthropist of the Year 2014 in Calgary. And this year, lucky enough for me, I received the Distinguished Man of Honor Award in Toronto. So I'm encouraged by the response from other cities or other countries, responding to our services.
Awesome. Perfect. We're going to take a short break, and right when we come back, we're going to have an alumnus of University of BC, Rouvier Eto. Welcome back on the show, and with us actually we have alumnus with us. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, good, good. So thank you for joining us on this conversation concerning the library. Talk to me about your role.
So my role is more personal than it is official. As you mentioned, I'm an alumnus of University of British Columbia. And in my time there, I was involved with initiatives trying to spread the awareness of Africa. And once I graduated from UBC, I was seeking other ways to get involved, and I heard about this African History Library, and I was immediately excited by the opportunity, so I just had to be a part of it.
For sure. Which part of Africa are you from?
I'm Nigerian, actually.
You're Nigerian?
Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome. So why do you think we need this library?
Well, there are so many reasons that I think we need the library. First of all, as an African, I believe that our history is part of our current identity.
Right.
The past efforts of the people who come before us affect our path, and it's a way to guide us. If we don't have knowledge of our history, it's hard for us to have motivation to continue on the straight path.
That's true.
And I think the importance actually goes beyond Africans as well. I think it's equally important for non-Africans, actually, because in a country like Canada, for example, my neighbors on my street on the left, it's a Polish family, on the right, it's a Pakistani family. Like, Canada is this melting pot of different cultures, and I think for us to live in a harmonious society, it's important for us to understand each other's cultures and history. And a lot of times when I tell people, oh, I'm Nigerian, they're like, oh, they don't know what to say because all they know is the stereotypes. But having this African history library it's an opportunity to open eyes of people and for them to learn more about African history.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. So back to you, when you started this whole project, obviously we have supporters, but we also have enemies. I don't really worry about the enemies, but who are your biggest supporters?
I think I take pride in the fact that I've had quite a good support from the young people, especially the students from University of Alberta. They've been my main support in terms of, being there, taking active part in the process of arranging and organizing programs. And so they are my main support, and of course, they are my main students as well.
For sure. So are you thinking of bringing this library worldwide, or is it restricted to Edmonton only?
It will be a worldwide phenomenon. As Canada prepares to celebrate Confederation 150 years of Canada's existence, there is a greater need for communities to actually have a second chance to tell their stories so that we can have a common narrative that includes the native people, the Chinese, the Japanese, and all groups that came to support to make this country what it is today. So this is what actually we are preparing to celebrate the 150th Confederation of Canada. And I'm excited that Nile Valley is here to play an important role.
So do you have an online platform, or is it go to the library, get information from there?
The library at this point is not a place where you can take a book home, but it's a place where you can sit down with your friends, take a book, read a page or two, and have a conversation about Africa and about our communities as well.
Awesome. So what were the challenges, or what are still the challenges that you have to overcome or had to overcome?
The challenges is to let our community know that history is as important as the air we breathe. and to let them know that it is not for a person, but it's for a community and for a country, so that they can also become active participants of the process in terms of donating books, in terms of volunteering time, in terms of helping us to do the office work, in terms of writing grants. All those things have to come together, and it should be a voluntary effort.
Absolutely. So do you have any other projects that you have in mind to complete?
Our major project now is called My Brother's Keeper. It's a program designed for young black boys from age 15 and up, and to actually help them shape and determine what kind of future they would like and their role in our community. Because quite often, young black boys fall into the cracks. People overlook their importance or where they are. And they are telling me that we are not talking to them enough, and therefore we have to give them the platform to talk to us so that we know how to help them to become great young men in our community.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for sure. It was an honor to have you here, and we will have more information on where the library is located, so we can get more information on that as well. That'd be perfect. Thank you to everybody out there for keeping in touch with us, for watching, and for staying tuned with the Tabitha Show on Alta TV. I am Tabitha, your host. Good night.